And we have forgotten what makes us strong.
Gosh, it still looks amazing. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Motion Designer Reacts. I'm Ryan Walker with Chomp Studio. And man, we are going back into the World of Warcraft. So some of the World of Warcraft stuff we've looked at has been absolutely amazing. And even though this trailer is a little bit older, I was told I should probably look at that after, since I was liking some of the other World of Warcraft trailers that we've been watching. So World of Warcraft and Blizzard, they obviously knock everything out of the park and they've been killing it. And I've really been liking their trailers lately. And because of that, you guys recommend I should check out this trailer, even though it is a few years old now. So as we like to do around here, let's take a look at the trailer first. I'll try not to talk over it too much. And let's go back in the second half of the video and just break down some of the scenes that are amazing from an animation and design standpoint. And let's take a look at them a little closer. So let's check out the cinematic trailer for World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth. Battle for Azeroth. Oh, I love this shot. This reminds me of Game of Thrones.
Ours is a cycle of hatred.
Oh, okay. Got some cool narration.
Alliances forged and broken. We have paid the price for sharing this world. And we have forgotten what makes us strong.
Gosh, it still looks amazing. I know this is like a lot older now, but good lord.
Close ranks! Advance has won! Lordaeron will be ours! My king, we have her cornered.
Ooh, I love how he looks.
Keep firing!
Ooh, look at those smoke effects. All the dust. Dude, there are so many particle effects in this trailer. This is awesome. Great shots. I mean, not the arrows from the camera. That was brutal. That siege weapon, the interior of that was amazing. Wow, that was awesome. Okay. Love that, man. What great energy. Man.
Push forward!
Kind of feel like that voice could have been deeper, but okay, well that's why, never mind. This is awesome. I'm putting it all together, guys. That's the same sword from the other video we watched, I'm guessing. Whoa. Man. The like solar flare stuff in the background? That is crazy looking.
Stand as one for the Alliance!
Wow, very cool. It's all coming together. Love it. So I see what you guys did there, getting a little tricky there, helping me learn a little bit of the lore, because I'm believing that's the same character from the War Within trailer, just a much younger version. So to see that from however many years ago this was, what is this, 10 years now, versus the trailer they just released within the last couple months, seeing the comparison of those two characters, not only from the character being younger and aging, but just the sense of technology and where the cinematics have gone. Not that this doesn't still hold up, I still think this is an amazing cinematic, but it's cool to see the character progression of that and what he looks like now. And that's, I didn't know that was in this trailer, so that's a awesome little Easter egg that you guys recommended, and I seriously enjoyed that. So thanks for that. Let's go back and take a look at a couple scenes from our design eyes again, and just sort of pick apart some things that we really like and we can learn from. So like I was saying, this opening shot, it really reminds me of the little towers and locations that open up in Game of Thrones. I wonder if there's some cross inspiration with this. I'd have to double check what came first. I'm assuming this Blizzard trailer came first, but I wonder if there was some inspiration from that for Game of Thrones, because this opening scene of the city just looks so cool. And maybe we should do the Game of Thrones title credits? Let me know what you guys think, because those are my favorite title credits, top 5 for sure. I love the drama and the impact of walking up the steps, and one of the rocks from the trebuchets are hitting the castle walls, and just the shaking, the dust, the dirt, the debris, you just feel the impact and power from that, and the animation that went in behind that. I love it. This is such a dramatic shot and a way to introduce us to the battle before we are seeing, walking up and seeing all the soldiers and what is essentially the battlefield and the destruction that's happening. So we're at the ground level, panning across the soldiers on the ground, looking up at the soldiers at the castle they're trying to siege. And if you just stop for a second and look at nothing but the atmosphere, the fire, the smoke, and the sky, just the amount of particle work that's going into all of that, I mean, it is incredible. And again, it's not that old, but I just keep referencing it that Blizzard was doing this years ago and it looked amazing. It's just really inspirational and amazing work that we could all study and use for our own work, all you motion designers and 3D artists out there. But just the amount of particle work throughout this scene and the whole thing, it's just so good. I love it. And what is his name? Anduin? I forget exactly how to pronounce his name. I haven't seen this version of his armor with the different coating of silver and gold and bronze kind of plating that formulates that, but just the design of that lion's mask looks so awesome. I'm sure there's lore to that mask and that armor, because we didn't see that from the War Within trailer. So yeah, if anyone wants to let me know that, I would love to learn. Leave it in the comments so I can know. And then we start seeing some wide shots of the siege and the battle coming towards us, and just these tall towers, all the detail, all the soldiers, everything that's happening, really reminiscent of Lord of the Rings, and great use of dust and atmosphere to give a sense of scale and depth to just show how massive this battle scene is. Let's talk about this siege tower really quick. I really love this idea of like a moving siege tower slash trebuchet device, and I like the idea of the construction of that and how it looks, but just the exterior detail that we see in this, the texturing and the detail that they put in the 3D of this, but then eventually we get to swing around and see the inner workings and the gears and the people and what the inside of that looks like. I just love all the detail and how it looks, and you can just imagine this in real life of this, people in the, in the trenches of this machine working it as they move towards the castle. Like, it would be a super scary situation, almost like the boats of the beaches of Normandy that everyone's kind of hunkering into this, but I would much rather be in this trebuchet tower than one of those boats, that's for sure. So as always, common theme, all the weapons, the characters, great character animation, great texturing and detailing of the colors and the costumes and the outfits and everything that they're wearing. Another thing that I'm a sucker for that I really like is in this shot where you have the 3 archers. This is another example of a great cinematic shot for us to keep in mind, because you have a great depth of field, you got a little bit of glows, it starts to get kind of soft on the edges, but if you look to the top left corner, our bokeh is blurring out and we're getting the so much subtle chromatic aberration, which is just on the outside of the frame and not in the middle. And if any of you do, photography or video, sometimes you'll get lenses that have chromatic aberration. That's just a realistic element, but it is more realistic when it's just on the edges, because that's where the image starts to separate more, not in the middle. So the fact that you're seeing that on just the edges makes it feel more realistic, and it's just a great feeling and cinematic shot. A couple of square little bokeh flames in there that maybe those could have been rounded out or stretched out to be anamorphic, but that is the most ridiculous nitpicky stuff, because this shot looks amazing and I love that attention to detail. Yeah, and again, like I mentioned, just looking at the inside interior of this trebuchet machine, I mean, this is a great frame too. The trebuchet is splitting the frame down the middle with its darker brown tones, and then the contrast of the gray and blue on the side is a great way to split that frame. But the inner details, the machines, the cogs, everything that's moving, I love that you get a sense that there's depth inside of there, and there's people and everything working inside the bowels of that trebuchet machine. Action sequence is great. Explosion particle work is just top notch, so well done. And these fluid simulations from when she kind of turns into the Banshee and she's going in and out of those soldiers and killing them basically, those fluid simulations are just so great. And again, keep in mind, this is older now and this is still just top tier. I mean, I would kill to be able to do half of this stuff, Really love how this looks. Would love to know if they're using Houdini or maybe something different at the time. But I just love how they look, and it's well done. An overall note, great battle sequence. We get this overhead shot as well as we're seeing all the characters, and we're getting the feel and scale of a giant epic Lord of the Rings style battle. A great sense of scale by switching up those camera angles in their shots to kind of give us a sense of where all the characters are going. They're doing a great job of, having our characters move left to right and the army coming in, going right to left, and keeping that consistent and always keeping us oriented to know sort of where the battlefield is and what's happening. And again, calling back to how young he looks here versus the War Within trailer, I love knowing both of those exist now. Yeah, he just looks like a young guy, maybe early 20s, whereas he's more weathered and raggedy in the War Within trailer, and seeing that contrast between where he was and where he is now. And I know there's all kinds of history probably before and all that up until now that I don't know about, but just knowing those two scenes alone, really cool Easter egg and just a fun thing to see now. To break up this whole battle and this whole fight scene, when he raises his hand up to get that gold light and we start getting all these gold tones on their side of the battlefield, it's just a great way to break up the whole scene and introduce a new color palette and really shifting the tone of everything. On top of that look of the gold, I love the solar flare energy dome that's happening. Just that look of it, it looks really cool. And I love the feel that, a solar flare kind of look would totally make sense because it's coming from the sky. Maybe, there's some sort of lore there with that as well. But I love the look and feel of this and just the power that is felt behind it. And we sort of in the cinematic with, at first we had the yelling of for the Horde, and that rallied that side of the battle as they started moving forward. And then we have for the Alliance being yelled at, and that part is getting rallied, and kind of just this little nod to like, oh, okay, let's do this. Let's I'll meet you on the battlefield. What a great way to sort of wrap up this big cinematic and leading us forward to the next part of the chapter of this story and where this battle's going towards. So there we go, guys, the Battle of Azeroth. And I see why you recommended that. Really tying in with our War Within trailer, and seeing the progression of that was just an awesome Easter egg. So thanks again. I hope you enjoyed doing this little time travel back, looking at some older World of Warcraft. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next Motion Design Reacts video. Have a great one.